Are you at the end of a relationship or going through a divorce and wondering, how do I love myself now? I have been getting this question in my DMs all the time. And loving yourself at the end of a relationship can be challenging, but it is crucial in the healing process. I know it was for me. And sometimes I find that we don't truly love ourselves because we just don't know how. Self-love was one of the hardest things for me to do. And I am still learning how to prioritize my needs and how to choose myself each and every day. Part of that is many times when a relationship ends, we are stuck with unmet needs. I mean, even in the most toxic situation, we have depended upon another person as a source of connection, stimulation, partnership, sex, even to just fight and argue. There has been another body. And when that body is gone, there is a hole that's present. It is the work of self-love to fill that hole, to fill that void that are found within our own person. How do I love myself? How do I prioritize myself? What does this look like? And how do I create it if it doesn't exist yet? In my situation, I married young, like early 20s, like maybe 21, 22. And I didn't have the space to develop self-love. I didn't grow up understanding this. I practiced self-denial. I put others above my own needs. I was an empath of sorts. Like I constantly was in service to other people. That's how I show love. And I did not honor myself. I used to be affirmed for this. I used to be affirmed for how I was selfless. So I did it even more. I wanted somebody to validate me, to love me. But truthfully, I was not doing a good job of loving myself. I was seeking something external. And I never worked for my internal relationship. I never developed that in the ways that I needed to. It was like, I have my person, I'm married, that should be enough. And although I was in a relationship with another person for 22 years, I didn't intentionally fill those holes in my soul with love. As long as there was a body, I felt like, well, at least I have this person. And when that relationship was over, guess what popped up? That insecure teenager who needed external love for validation was right there. She was like, hey, girl, hey, I'm still here. The body is gone, but the work still needs to be done. I wanted to love myself so desperately the way I wanted somebody else to love me. And along that journey of discovering self-love, I want to share a few things that help me, how to cultivate it, how to have self-compassion at the end of a relationship. And that's very important. If you've been single most of your life, you may have a healthy understanding of yourself and a healthy relationship with yourself. But being that I went from high school to 1 year in college and now I was married and then having kids and busy, I didn't get the space to do that. So I would tell you this, feel it. Feel all the feelings, whatever it is, sit in it. It won't kill you, I promise. Sit in what it feels like to be where you are. You can stuff it, bury it, find somebody else. You can be busy all you want, but there is no substitute for valuing and loving yourself. The moment you have lost, this feeling is going to pop right back up. Allow yourself to grieve. You will hear me say that over and over again. You have permission to grieve the end of that relationship, the loss that's felt in that relationship. Allow yourself to feel those emotions, whether it's sadness, anger, confusion, relief, happiness, joy, whatever it is. Acknowledge those feelings and give yourself space to process them. That's the way you love yourself initially, is by being human and moving through those emotions. And then take care of yourself. I found it helpful to take care of my body. It's practical. It's what's a necessity, right? Shave, even though nobody is watching you or seeing your body, okay? Do your hair, get a pedicure, a manicure. This practice taught me that I was worth the expense, even if nobody was complimenting me, even if nobody was going to see me. Because we can do a lot for somebody else. Like, I'm going to go get dressed and buy this dress because I think my husband's going to like it. I did it for me. I would take myself out to expensive dinners It was all mechanical at first. I didn't feel anything spectacular inside, but I kept doing it anyway. Prioritize those self-care activities, those things that nurture your physical, your emotional, your mental well-being. I don't care if it's walking, exercising, eating, sleeping, resting, doing things you enjoy. Just do it. Hang out with some friends, some family. Take the trip. I even went to Bali by myself, okay? I was doing all the things that I could externally to groom my emotional self into this practice of self-love. I said, you know what, Myesha? I don't have to have a partner to do things I enjoy. I bought the dress. I did the practical things at first. Then you start to move into something else. Challenge the negative self-talk. Be mindful of how you speak to yourself and challenge anything negative that comes up. Oh, look at you. Nobody's going to want you. Or why are you wearing your nails that color? That's not a good color for you. Or don't eat too much because you always eat. Replace that self-criticism with self-compassion and positive affirmations. You want to love yourself? Mind how you talk to yourself. Treat yourself with kindness and understanding. You're going through something very difficult. Stop downplaying yourself and apologizing for being who you are. For me, my self-esteem was in the toilet. I didn't think I could do much, even though I was doing everything. I was the freaking prize. And here I'm thinking I'm like weak and whack. I had to get rid of that inner critic because that inner voice was never me. That inner voice, that inner critic that would judge me and tell me that I need to do this and I have to do that right or else. That was wrong. I had to get rid of old boy and say, you got to go. Because that's not how I talk to me.